What's up guys, welcome to Diving Garage. Today I got some sweet MSD parts for Hank to get him ready for a turbo. Let's dive in. Alright, check it out. Got a bunch of MSD parts here. The first thing up, we got a Rev Controller. So Hank is just a regular HEI setup. There's really no electronics save for the ignition control module. But that's part of the reason I like all the small block setups, because there's no computer telling you no, engaging some sort of safety when you don't want it. So that's why we can add it when you do want it. So if we're going to be throwing some boost at Hank, which is fine, that's what I built the motor for. Or if we throw some boost at him, we need to make sure we have a little bit of control, and this is one of those things that we're going to do. Because right now, if you just slam the gas pedal in park or while you're going, this thing will rev to the moon and we'll be sending those rods all over the place. So we want to control that, right? So that's exactly what this Rev Controller is going to do. And the wiring setup seems pretty straightforward, and it's controlled by a little pill here, or a module you can take out and replace as needed. And I'll show you this here in a second. But then if we're going to have a turbo, we need to have a two-step, right? We got to be able to get up to the line and stage. And we know before you go saying, Ben, this isn't a race car, you're right, it's not a race car. But if we're going to be having a turbo, we're going to be having a two-step. You can't have a turbo and not have a two-step. That's not allowed. That's against the rules. It's a violation. All right? So the next thing up is we have a two-step. So this is very simple. It plugs right into the Rev Controller, activated with 12 volts, and it just takes two little pills down here. And I'll show you this in a second. And then also we have an adjustable RPM module. So this goes, I want to say, from like 1,000 to 3,000, and you can change it with the little tool there they give you, and we'll be checking that out in a minute. And something we have is not for today, but will be soon, is a HEI vacuum advance stop. So if you're watching my distributor video, one of the things I mentioned was that the vacuum advance was doing way too much. It was adding like 20 degrees of timing, which is absurd. So with this, you can dial that in. This is something we'll put on soon, but not today. So come take a look at these parts. All right, so check these things out. This is the MSD Rev Controller, part number 8728. It came with a few modules. Right now I just slapped in there the 6,000, and we're going to check what's under this cover. It's supposed to come set up for a V8, but we're going to verify. And this is the two-step. And so I'll tell you right now, both of these parts I got on the cheap from the Evil Bay, right? And don't be scared to check out eBay for some parts for your truck or your car, whatever you're working on. And but check out the modules that were in this two-step. A 7100 and a 6900 RPM module. I don't know everything there is to know about race cars and racing, but it seems to me you wouldn't want to be bouncing your turbo off 6900 RPM at the line. So I don't know what kind of crazy circle track NASCAR kind of guy was running these things, but we're not going to be using either of those. And this is that adjustable control module, part number 8677. And there it is down there. I'll pop it out in a second. And then there are little pins down there you can adjust with that tool. And then these are some of the things that came with the Rev Controller as well. You got a 7,000 and 8,000. Looks like a couple Scotch locks to get it wired in. And we have some of these things, instructions. I don't need those. All right, let's get some of this stuff put in. Alrighty, so this is where we'll be focusing most of our attention for the Rev Controller install. I got the air cleaner off, and our target is a small wiring harness that goes to the top of the distributor cap. So I'm probably going to take that off. It's in a little sheath. I'm going to unsheath it, and we need to get our wires from the Rev Controller right here. This mess right here, we need to get this hooked into there, and we need, of course, we need power on the ground. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in the firewall, a small one, don't worry, and I'm going to mount it next to everything else that's on top of the trans tunnel. That's a nice spot, and you can mount these in the engine bay. Like I could put it up there, or even right here, and that will be totally fine. You can do that, and I could put it like this, which, as the more I talk about it, the more it kind of sounds like a good idea. But I just have so much wire, so I might as well put it inside the cab, right? And then if ever needed, just from the cab, I could change out the little module whenever, and then putting the two-step in there will be a lot easier too. So that's the plan for now. Might change, but yeah, drill a hole in the firewall, maybe about there, where my finger is, and then just run a quick length of wire to the little harness, and then it'll be mounted up in here. And if you can't tell, I'm in the garage today because we're supposed to be getting a lot of rain tonight, and I wanted to, oh, it's locked. Hold on. All right. Anyway, we're supposed to be getting a lot of rain tonight, and I want to be able to work on this, especially once it gets dark, right? So that's this, well, if you can see it, I'll get a light in a second. But this scary bundle of wires here. Don't worry, I know what all these wires go to. Just because they're all red doesn't mean I don't know what they go to, right? I think I'm going to put it somewhere about right here, maybe on the side, and then that would be easy to access. And I got a power and ground set up right there, and it should be able to reach because the distributor is just on the other side of here. So that's what I'm going to go for now. Let's see if we can get it in there. Can you see that? Apparently this distributor harness was the best. Look at that. Alright, cool. So because we need to make a connection from this black, red, and brown wire to the harness for our rev limiter, right? So instead of using these funky little Scotch lock things, I'm going to be putting in a T, so that way we can make sure these connect to each other, and we can also tee in the rev limiter. So let me go get those. Okay, we are on plan F. I tried soldering together some connectors, and it didn't quite turn out the way I wanted. So what I'm going to do instead is basically make this. I'm going to have the wire from the distributor wiring harness go from here where it originates, and then a female disconnect here where it continues on to the actual ignition coil. And I'm going to tee in the harness for the rev limiter, basically just like this. So let's go ahead and get to it. So first up, let's go ahead and start with the black. Why? I don't know. It just feels good. Let's do that and get to work. Now, when you're using the wrong size connectors for the wire that you need, make sure you smash them down real good. Alright, so basically just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the other two wires, and then we're going to go prep our wiring harness for the rev limiter, and then we should be able to plug it all in. Alrighty, this here's the finished product. So I was able to source some black. I even found some brown, but nowhere could I find some red, so we had to use white. Yeah, it sucks, but whatever. And then I noticed that these cables were kind of fitting out of this little plastic body here. So I went ahead and just epoxied those in so they'll stay nice and tight, and those are never come out. So that's okay. All right, now I can go ahead and put this back in the truck, wire up some male connectors onto our harness from the Rev Controller, and then we can move on. All right, so that came out pretty good. As you can see there, it looks decently neat. It's usually better than what I do, so that'll work. All right, now let's go around to the cabs and check out the inside. Overall, this went pretty well. Check it out. Boom, I get some light going on here. All right, so we got the Rev Controller in place, the two-step in place. What I still need to do real quick is get the other pills in place. So let me go figure out that adjustable pill, throw it in, and then we'll get the truck warmed up. All right, here we go. Let's see if we didn't break anything. Oh, we got no fuel filter, or fuel pump. Why is that? Oh, duh. Forgot to, the circuit breaker. I flipped it. Let me go put it back. All right, we're back. Got a fuel pump now. Give them a shot, see what happens. Yes! Haha! Didn't break it. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so these things don't have lights on them or anything, so I won't know if they're on. I got it plugged up right now, but let me pull out of the garage. All right, cool. I'm just gonna let it warm up. It's gonna sit for a couple days, and I'll bring you back. Alrighty, nice and warm. Doing all right. I had to borrow a fuse because I'm out apparently, and I borrowed it from the choke, so that'll be fine, right? All right, so I wired up this temporary switch. I'm waiting on a momentary switch. I did that one for now, just a little flip switch. So let's see what happens here. Nothing, good. All right, now that little modular switch, you adjust that little, I don't know if you can see that little screw right there. Little screw right there. And the more you twist it in, the higher the rev limit will go. So right now, if I activate it right now, and I got nothing, right? Nothing happens, perfect. So I'm gonna leave it on, and then I'm gonna hit the gas and see where it starts to cut out. It says right there, going at 1,000. So that's way too low. So let's crank that puppy up. And they said that every turn is about 100 RPM. So let's do, I don't know, a bunch of turns. How about now? There we go. That was about 12. It works. Pretty cool. Okay, 100, another 2, another 3, another 4, even another 500. Here we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So that's about what, 1800? Yeah, buddy. Oh, that holds really good too. Okay, so I have a stock converter up in here. So I'm actually gonna lower it down. Let's lower it down 2 turns. See if I can get about 1500, that'd be great. Go down a little bit more. And you really don't want to be bouncing a carbureted engine off of the rev limiter too much, because even though there's no spark happening, you're just shooting gas straight out the tailpipe. Looks like not that much so far. All right, let's try it again. Perfect, yes. You know what, I'm surprised this worked, to be honest with you. One more time. That's awesome, yes. All right, let's go ahead and turn that off. And we'll kill it for now. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna go out and test it just a minute. Let me get cleaned up. All right, just rolling up to a testing spot. Let's try, see how this thing does. Engage, smash the brake. Ooh, I need to lower it. All right, let me lower it down a bit. All right, and go again. Engage. Almost. Go down a bit more. Make sure it's on. Yep. Ooh, I don't like that. Oh, I was gonna kept it on, dummy. Ooh, it launches a lot better now. Oh, there we go. Before the launch was pretty boring. Now it is not bad. Let's see, let's do it down a bit more, just a tiny bit. Let's try again. All right, engage. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, let me try it back the other way. This is sweet. Gotta make sure there's nobody coming behind me. All right, engage. Oh yeah, I can work with that. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! All right, now let me see if I can get the camera up so you can hear from the outside. It's not bad. Oh, look, check these out. Woo-hoo-hoo, man. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I found a little sweet spot. I really need to do like a muffler shootout. Let me set you up like right here. I'll put the mic right by the tire, see how that sounds. Oh, not bad. Yeah, that last pull was 3,000. Let me sit you back here by the trailer hitch and let's see how this sounds. Oh, Hank sounds ready to go, man. All right, here it was about, let me call it 8 feet off the back of the truck. And we have a backfire. That was awesome. All right, well, that's probably enough of that. As I was talking about earlier, on a carbureted truck, you're just shooting that fuel right out the exhaust. And that'll happen. Get a backfire. All right, y'all, this thing's officially up and going. Man, this Revler makes it sound awesome. I actually bumped into a couple people that came by just because I was bouncing it off 3,000. This thing is freaking great. So, one thing done, plenty more to do. Keep following along. If you've liked the video, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, catch you next time.